Welcome back to Monday All Weekend, everybody. We got some topics, and we're missing Wyatt. I guess that's
Yes.
news.
We're going to be covering a few interesting topics on today's Monday all weekend, but
Mhm.
Wyatt is taking a vacation not only from his day job but from this job. So
Yeah,
he won't be here this evening, but you got us, the
you got
OGs
us.
if you will.
Yeah, the Wisner brothers.
That's right. Um so
Ye-
I say we jump right into the first topic because I think we got a lot to cover. And we don't have
Okay.
anybody here in the live yet, but as we go, if anyone pops in, hopefully they leave a chat and we can interact with them during it.
Yeah.
So the first thing we got is the big news. Barbie hit $1 billion globally, right?
Unfortunately, it did. And
No.
I was talking to somebody over the weekend about this, and I said they were asking me about Oppenheimer, what I thought, and I was like, it's good. They said I went and saw Barbie. I
Right.
really liked it. I really, really liked it. And I
That's
said,
interesting.
I'm hearing this more and more, even though I asked them, I said, did it feel like there was Hollywood agenda with the movie? And they said, well, maybe, but I still liked it. So somehow people like this movie.
Like, they almost don't care that there's an agenda behind it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of
I
weird.
there I think there's a whole layer of psychology that can be dissected with this
Yeah.
movie, and I don't think the two of us are necessarily gonna figure out this
No.
cultural phenomenon here on the live, but if we're gonna speculate, I would say I think Barbie's just too much of an iconic, merchandised
Play a toy for
IP, right?
for children, and it has nostalgia attached to it.
Yeah, and when you have a nostalgia attached to something, it is 100% going to gain attention. And so Barbie is clearly showed us that. And it was
Yeah.
interesting. I know a lot of people that reviewed it that didn't like the movie said people aren't going to come back for week 2. I didn't
Apparently,
really
they
I
did.
didn't know. I didn't know, but they have definitely been coming back for week 2. We've hit let's look at the numbers real quick just to
Okay.
see. So the budget was estimated $100 million, probably a little bit more, especially with all the marketing. I would be willing to bet the
A
budget
ton
was
of marketing.
probably like 300 million, to be honest. In the US and Canada, it grossed just a little under 500 million, about 40 million shy of half a billion. But globally, we reached over $1 billion, one
Wow.
billion 33 million. So this is pretty impressive, especially considering that it has only been in a theatrical run for how many weeks? 4 weeks at this point.
Yeah. So,
Um,
the Warner Brothers, the brothers themselves, as they do, they were sitting on the couch saying, "Not a billion,
right.
not a billion." They
So
can't not say that.
yeah, they're in the couch being like, "That's a billion.
That's a billion. That's a billion.
That's a billion." And they'd probably be like, "That's not a trillion." So uh,
Not yet.
not yet. So it's pretty crazy that it reached this level. I think with the two highest grossing movies that reached over $1 billion this year, we're talking
Mhm.
Barbie and Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
I think what if these two movies going into the future for because when you have a major success like they did with Avengers, like they did with Avatar, it influences what type of movies come after that because all the studios want those big dollars, so they're trying to glean what it is about these two movies, and we're going to see the likes of them, and we're also going to see people trying to emulate or grab some of that magic in movies for probably the next 2 years.
It's kind of interesting. It almost feels like they've almost, I hate to say it, but like they've figured out the YouTube thing of
Oh, interesting. Expand
marketing
on that.
marketing to children in a way, but making a genuine movie that adults can also enjoy. I
Okay.
think YouTube has done this for a while, where like you have to mark: is it for children? Is it not for children?
Right.
And we know because we've seen numbers that children's stuff gets so many views.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think it's interesting that the two movies that reached 1 billion this year are a child's doll, Barbie, and it's live action, and
Right.
then Mario, I would say a
And
kid's
kids
video.
animation. Yeah.
Yeah, kid's
Eh,
video game.
and both of them have decades of nostalgia are
Yeah,
backing them, right? So I think when it comes to the magic of these movies, you're right. There are movies marketed to kids or like family-friendly movies, sort of. I think Barbie, for some people, that's questionable because I heard there's like a lot of sexual innuendos that aren't comfortable letting their kids listen to.
I
But
don't know. When I
with
went to the
that,
theater to watch Oppenheimer, I was seeing so many little girls just wearing pink going into
yeah,
that
yeah, but
theater.
I saw full-grown ladies
Full
wearing
grown
pink.
and kids,
Right.
both.
Right. Hey, if you guys are here, head over to the chat. We wanna interact with you here on the live, get some thoughts on what you thought about Barbie and what you think about how it's gonna influence movies for the next, probably 2 years or so, or if you wanna talk about Super Mario Bros. As well. We're just talking about the 2 highest grossing films of this year. So, but yeah, I think it has to have decades of nostalgia. So young kids can still enjoy it. Also, the people who enjoyed it when they were kids, 20, 30, 40 years ago, there needs to be some of that because then all ages show up for the movie.
Yeah.
And and that's not necessarily something that you can emulate. What are some IPs? What are some areas that have that long of a track record? I mean,
You
we've
mean
seen
like kids,
what other things are
toys?
there, right?
I don't know. There's like they come across. I mean,
Pac-Man, maybe,
we were talking about the Lego movie.
right?
Why did I mean, I guess that is more geared towards children and not like
Mhm,
this adult kid movie, I guess, as a
right.
mix. But Legos have been around forever, and that's not hitting the sweet spot like everybody wants.
I don't know, maybe although we've already seen 2 Lego movies, maybe Universal could come in and do something that grabs more attention, who knows? Karina left a chat. She said, "Just watched Super Mario Bros, did not see Barbie." Now, did you like Super Mario Bros?
Mm,
I'm
what do you
interested when
think?
you watched it, did it speak to you? Did you find it fun? Because that's really the reason why a movie makes $1 billion is because people are having fun when they
Yeah.
watch it.
Uh,
Um,
it also too is, it's kind of ironic that both of these movies have this, Looney Tunes back in action, in world, character thing. You know what I mean by that? Where there's the Looney Tunes world, there's the Barbie world, there's the the Nintendo world where Mario gets sucked into, and then there's kind of like the real world. But
mhm,
that's
right,
kind of interesting that all these movies are having like that, separate world thing, which is not new at all. That's been
right,
around forever.
right. Okay, so let's read this comment and let's address this. So much for Barbie being for no one, huh, guys?
Uh,
I don't understand how anyone could be that ignorant about Barbie, even if you hate everything Barbie. I think they're referring to a
uh,
video where Wyatt said it's for wine moms. Now, I honestly, if I'm being honest, I stand by it. You know, I think it if you look at who is the biggest spender in the economic system, it is women, right? And particularly women who have money. So older women who have jobs, who have income, they're going to spend the most on the market. So it's not that it's not that Barbie wasn't gonna make money, but it definitely is playing best with the wine moms, if you will, the people who that we called.
mm.
It made a lot of money, and
I will say this. I will say this. For us, we went to Top Gun Maverick and we were having a blast.
oh,
I'm not
watched it
saying
twice.
I'm not saying as a general movie that, you know, the group of people that are watching Barbie aren't gonna go into Top Gun and have a blast because they can.
Mhm.
It can gear towards them too, but I don't think it's specifically geared towards them. I think we have not seen in a while this movie that's specifically geared towards the audience that Barbie is geared towards. And
Right.
I think that is why I also we're kind of eating our words a little bit. They're not our words, they're Wyatt's. We're gonna blame Wyatt on this.
Well, look,
He's not
look.
here, so he can't defend himself.
Here, this is the truth. All right. I think Barbie is blown out of proportion. It speaks to a lot of people the same way that maybe Top Gun or Oppenheimer spoke to, our demographic. It speaks to women in a lot of ways, and they made money for that. I'm not saying that's a dumb business move. I'm saying it's a smart business move, but it is a fact. Let's see what is being said here. I knew ever since the film was announced it was going to make a billion. It was bloody obvious. All right, where are you from? Where are you from? Also, at least 40% of Barbie audiences are male, FYI. Uh, Probably boyfriends that had to go with their or dads that went with their daughters, right?
I would
Uh,
agree with yes, the market's probably padded a little bit with people like that taking their daughters or boyfriends, but
100%. No, if my
I would
daughter was
say
old enough and said, I want to watch Barbie, I would
I'm
go
going
with
to
her.
accept 25% of guys that actually wanted to go see the movie.
Glad you're here representing Canada. Appreciate you.
Canada, yeah.
Um, Look, I think I think, uh, look, you're not wrong, and we didn't really say that it wasn't gonna be successful. We did play a game on the podcast where we pitted Barbie and Oppenheimer against each other,
Yeah.
and we came out and said, "Our Barbie's gonna blow, it's gonna beat Oppenheimer,"
In
and that's what
theaters,
we landed
yes.
on in
Um,
theaters opening weekend. So, past that, we didn't predict anything else really.
the
So
only thing we predicted was in that I specifically said Barbie was going to be more popular in theaters for than Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer is going to be a movie that will stay longer, and you can watch
right.
Oppenheimer in 10 years, and it holds its value just as much as Barbie. I don't we don't watch movies like
Well, hold
what's
on.
the
Barbie could potentially be
it
like
could
Elf, you know what I mean?
it could,
And have staying power.
but there is a lot of movies that were good movies from their time, like back in 2010. I really liked you know, Heart of the Sea, the Moby Dick movie that came out.
Mhm.
Um, I really like that, but do people still watch that? No. People don't
Right.
watch that today. Even though it's a good movie, people aren't gonna watch it 10 years later. I don't know.
Mhm.
This is, just what we're saying.
Alright, so let's see. If Barbie's the number 1 grossing movie of 2023, it's kinda obvious it's pulling many more millions of guys than you guys might have anticipated. Oh, 100%, it's pulling
Yes.
more than we anticipated, but I do think the majority of the reason it's there is because of women. Now, it hasn't beat Super Mario Bros., so it's actually number 2 grossing movie of 2023. So it
Yes.
hasn't quite overtaken the, Nintendo nostalgia yet, but we'll see. It might break it, who knows?
Yeah.
But I wanna get your thoughts. What do you think this means for the future of movies for the next 2 years, taking into consideration Barbie and Nintendo? What are we gonna see coming out of movies, right?
We're definitely gonna see we've talked about this on the podcast, but we're definitely gonna see a lot of video game movies. We're also going to see a lot of animated movies and I guess nostalgia type movies.
Mhm.
These live action I don't wanna say feel good because 'cause they're not feel good movies,
Well,
but
they are feel-good
live
movies.
action nostalgia movies,
Well,
if you say.
right, but I know, like, the follow-up to Mario, there's talks of trying to make a Minecraft film, and that's just not going to land as well because it doesn't have that nostalgia behind it, and so
I don't know.
it's not gonna land.
I don't wanna say anything yet till we get
No,
closer.
it's not gonna
I
hit Mario numbers, right?
it
It's gonna be more
probably
like the
won't
Lego Movie.
It probably will be more like that because they're trying to do something, recreate this billion-dollar movie like Mario, but I think that they're just redoing another of the same thing, and people don't like that once they do it
Right,
again, but,
right.
um,
So let's see.
we'll see.
Mattel has already announced 45 films even before Barbie released theatrically. Now, who is this? Mattel. Is that like a
Right.
Barbie? brand. It's obvious more IPs and video game adaptation. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're right. It's basically what we're saying. It's kind of, I feel like that's going to be the try. It's going to be what people are trying to make money with over the next few years is video games and merchandise like Barbie. I want to see. You know what I want to see? I want to see them bring back GI Joe and actually do a good job, right?
Yeah.
Because GI Joe sucked that last one. Let's see what Karina said, if you don't
Fe
mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, Having young men going to watch it and like it just proves, unfortunately, that Hollywood is succeeding.
Of course, they're succeeding. To be honest,
Certain people in Hollywood are succeeding. Not all of Hollywood succeeding.
I have not seen the movie. I do not really 100% know what agenda they are pushing with this movie, but to be honest, it makes me a little bit excited that people are getting back into um, the theater and watching movies and getting excited about it again because I feel like there's it feels a lot like when we do movie reviews and we do them a lot where we're like Disney Plus is failing, Disney's failing.
Oh, Disney
This
is
com
failing right
this
now. Yeah.
company is failing because people don't like the content they're coming out with. It makes me happy even if I don't personally enjoy the movie that
Mm.
something is working. People are liking a specific movie. So I will say that I'm glad that it's bringing people out and putting people back in the theater because
Well,
I
yeah.
enjoy going to the theater.
Look, we need people in the theater, even if they're watching something that I might consider to be trash. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Um, but but it doesn't matter. I'm just one opinion in an ocean of opinions.
yes.
So, but I did to kind of put a lid on the
On
Barbie
Barbie.
topic because I also want to talk about Joaquin Phoenix. Just to let you guys know, Joaquin Phoenix slapped a co-star during the filming without warning, the
Mhm.
lady who's playing his wife in the Napoleon movie. So we're going to look at that information and discuss the morals behind it. Um, but let's see. Let's see. Have you guys even seen Barbie? Unlikely most movie IPs. People are talking about many Oscar nominated for Barbie. And what else is being said? It's not typical nostalgia IP driven kind of mediocre movie.
We have not
Eh.
seen it, and we have been very open in saying that we have not seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been back to the theater since I watched Oppenheimer. Now, I think, and I watched Oppenheimer opening weekend. That I was very obviously gonna do that. I'll watch Barbie when it comes out on streaming, but it's not really a theater movie for me. And so, really, and I haven't noticed we haven't done a movie review on the channel for Barbie because obviously we haven't seen it. We're
Yeah.
merely reacting to what people have been saying about Barbie and news like at the box office.
It's kinda interesting. People just totally we talked about Tom Cruise being mad that Barbie and Oppenheimer were coming after it. Nobody's talking about Mission Impossible after
Right,
Barbie and Oppenheimer.
right. Mission
Tom Cruise
Impossible was the
knew
biggest.
not to put his movie right before
He
these
was
2,
right,
but
he was right, and he had a really strong opening weekend, and I did go and watch that movie as well. He had a really strong weekend and then silence, right?
yes.
So, that's unfortunate. He definitely knows the industry. He knew it was gonna bury his movie, and it did,
Mhm. It
unfortunately.
definitely did.
Let's pivot though. I think we I wanna talk about this because this is a movie, Napoleon, I am very interested in seeing. I am very interested in this movie, but to, uh I want to address this controversy that's come out. So, what it says, Joaquin Phoenix slapped his Napoleon co-star Vanessa Kirby because she said he could. Now, first off, I know there's like, so Vanessa Kirby's playing the wife of Napoleon, and obviously he's playing Napoleon, and there's we've seen this in movies before, in the script there's
Mm.
abuse going on, and and it always is visceral and very uncomfortable to watch, and I think that's the reason they put it in here. However, this is a little different. This is unscripted abuse as a part of the character, right?
Mhm.
So let's read this statement and then we'll discuss it. So this is Joaquin. I said the same thing with you, Phoenix added. She said, "You can slap me, you can grab me, you can pull me, you can kiss me, whatever it is." So we had this agreement that we were going to surprise each other and try and create moments that weren't there because both of us wanted to avoid the cliche of the period drama. And by that, I mean moments that are well orchestrated and designed. And there's more to this, but basically they had an agreement that they can be unpredictable with each other as
Mhm.
characters while filming. Now, from what I understand, uh, this was well received by all producers, directors. They were like, "Oh, it really made everyone uncomfortable when it happened, but man, it really adds to the scene." I want to get your thoughts. Is this something that is okay? Like what I because when I hear this, I think I don't because I've done a few films, I've been on a few sets. This feels like it's using artistic expression to me as a excuse for abuse. It's very it just feels wrong, right? Because
So
it was real. He really slapped her. It wasn't like, an effect or like he didn't quite slap her or they had a stunt person do it. It was real and it wasn't planned. It just happened, right?
so I think, Joaquin Phoenix in general, we've seen him do the Joker, and I think he gets a very, very deep in his characters with doing the method acting thing.
Mhm.
Um, you can probably go back and, like, find several occasions where similar stuff kind of has happened because he does get very deep of, like, "I'm this character." And I
Right.
think it gets very dangerous when you do that. We saw that with Heath Ledger and the downfall of him playing the Joker,
Right.
but also she did give him permission, and it is, I think, as long as your director and people on the crew are okay with it and they get permission, I say it makes things feel more real and more, you know, lively. I mean, that's, to be honest, this Napoleon movie is probably going to win some kind of award because
It's
how
Ridley
far they're
Scott.
going to be taking it,
Yeah.
it will be a good movie. Even from the first trailer we've seen, we're
Right.
already saying there's a lot, and it's going to be a good movie.
Right. Okay, so Napoleon and his wife had a volatile relationship. That's probably why he did it in an impromptu take. At least he didn't sexually assault and do more and slap like
That is
Marlon
true.
Brando did with his. Yeah, that's true. And that Marlon Brando's that's old Hollywood, and
Mhm.
Hollywood's been corrupt since the beginning, and especially before back in the days, like if you were a star, you just rolled over people and just did terrible things. And so did directors and producers, which you've seen. I think. Do you think because of Joaquin, because of the art, because of the love we have for the characters he's put on screen, do
Mhm.
you think? Do you think we just give him a pass? In some ways, it's like she. They basically asked for it from each other,
Mhm.
and yeah, they're trying to be true to the character and be artistic to the character. And Vanessa Kirby agreed to this kind of behavior from Joaquin Phoenix. I I guess there's just something about it that just rubs me wrong. It's like do yell at her, like I don't know, do be intense, but like actually just whacking her. That seems wrong, and maybe it's just because I'm
He
like in my head, you don't hit women even if it's on screen. That's just
No,
in my
no.
head. I don't.
There is a danger of taking things too far with a character even, but if she gave him permission, I know we're probably looking negative at this, but I'm almost like, be careful who you give your can like give permission to because they're gonna go all out, especially someone
Right.
like Joaquin.
Right.
But I'm kind of
Who would you rather give permission to? Jared Leto or Joaquin Phoenix?
I don't think I would, Joaquin, because I've heard he's, just how he takes
It's
things,
dark.
but I don't know enough about Jared Leto. He was, as much as I've seen some of his films like The Joker and stuff, I was a lot younger when he was acting, and I don't know him
Right.
as an actor. and the stuff that they've said about him as
Right.
much.
Right, that's true. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna really enjoy this movie. It's probably gonna
Oh,
be
it will be a
really
fantastic
well
movie.
done, and when I see this scene, I'm gonna feel conflicted, and maybe that's just a part of it. Maybe it's just a part of the experience. It's like, I wouldn't have done it this way if I was on set. I would not be cool with this probably. But they're I guess when it comes down to it, they're 2 consenting actors and consenting adults, and they get to make their own decisions for how they go about it. Um, and it's not like method acting to me, because method acting, you choose to put yourself, through a difficult situation, whereas this, it's like putting someone else through a difficult
Yeah.
situation for it and to be true to the characters, because Napoleon put his wife through a difficult situation, I'm sure.
Mm.
So it's just kind of, you know, I feel a type of way about it, and we'll see we'll see, how that goes. Let's see.
Yes.
He and Vanessa verbally discussed and consented to the scene, and that's he was okay with doing it. Sure, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we've been discussing. Um, so yeah, I appreciate. I think we're about at 30 minutes, but I
Yeah.
appreciate all you guys' interaction with us and
Yeah.
answering, asking questions, just interacting with the content, even if we don't agree on Barbie, even if we see it from 2 different lenses. Um, I appreciate you interacting and talking with us. It really means a lot that you showed up and stuck around with us. If you haven't already and you're interested, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's see. Guy on the right, sorry, I don't know your name, but just got to say you guys have to review Scorsese's Killer of the Flower Moon before writing it off. I'm not going to write off that movie.
No, no.
Oh,
We'll
Martin
watch it.
Scorsese, I'm going to watch it 100%. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about that. Yeah, no, I think it looks really good. I'm not going to write that movie off.
Which that we did a trailer reaction for that already.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I was in it. Was I? It was you and Wyatt.
Yes, we were in it.
So I didn't get a chance to give my opinion of that trailer, but no, I think that movie looks good. We're definitely going to review it, and I'll review Barbie. It maybe not, because by the time I watch it, it won't be trending anymore. But
Mhm.
but I'll watch Barbie when it comes out on a streamer. And if it's not hot anymore on YouTube, I won't review it, and my opinion will just be lost in the ether. But
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, thank you guys so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for hanging out with us. It means a lot. And this is probably the most interaction we've had on a live.
This yes, it is fun when you have interaction to do live. But thank you for joining us for Monday all weekend. We will see you next week. And if you enjoyed our content, just go check out other stuff. We have our podcast, that comes out
Right.
today on Monday in the morning on our other channel. Go check
Yeah,
that out.
we
And
pushed some more buttons. We talked a little bit about Sound of Freedom controversy, so if you wanna check out that episode.
yes, but go check out our other things and subscribe to the channel. We will see you next Monday on Monday all weekend.